I want to take this time to voice my observations about a few irritations and frustrations that have been bothering me for a while. And I want to say these with a smile because I'm in this for the long while, and I know it's going to take some time for the change that I want to see, for people to agree. You see, I want us all to be sexually free. There, I've said it, my grievance is about sex and how in our society I see two polar opposites at play every day. On the one side, sex is being used to sell pretty much everything from ice creams to burgers to engagement rings. Advertisers know this is what brings in the bling. And it's been all over the news recently about people's addiction to mainstream pornography's unrealistic, ridiculous depictions. This is the stuff that's based on some lonely man's fantasy fiction. You know the type. On the other side, there's no counteraction. In fact, it's a complete lack of education and honest communication about what sex is really like. No one is teaching real life tools, especially in many schools that have outdated rules. It all just feels cruel. It's a power turned sour, not letting me to naturally flower. There was no point keeping me in the dark, as my body knows about the possible pleasures. In the dark, the quick, risky slam bam happens instead of sweet connection and protection. And if there was a cock involved, it was just a quick fix for an erection. It's time to move from secrecy to celebration. Across the nation, it's my right to learn about safe, healthy and pleasurable relations, to learn about the benefits to solo masturbation or the alternatives to quick penetration, to learn how to say no and mean no, to learn how to say yes and mean yes, to be the true stud and coax the little bud and make it feel good so that it can open and flower and feel nature's power, how to please without being called a tease, how to say what you want and need with ease, how to give and receive and play and giggle and feel all the things that we were born to feel. Except the reality, I've got a sexuality and it's getting all messed up with this guilty mentality that sex doesn't exist. Unless I look at TV or have a phone or buy products or look at billboards, it's there then that there's this weird twist. It's all sex that, sex this. And then a woman's body becomes a commodity and her frigidity disappears into dust and becomes lust, and you can have a piece of her or be like her if you pay. Yeah, there's always some sort of price to pay. It's a confusing world for me today. It's not fair to leave all my questions spinning around in the air. Seriously, it seems like you don't care, but I know that deep down you do. Because when I look back at history, I can see this has happened to you too. Now we're getting to the root. It's not that you don't want to teach the truth, it's that you don't know it either. Because no one told you neither. So that means we just carry on the tradition while teenage pregnancies and STIs rise and the NHS pays for boob jobs and vaginal lips to be cut. So that I can strut about like a porn star on your screen, but what I look like is more important than how I feel. That I can balance on this tightrope where reality and fantasy collide. While you all sit on the fence and scratch your heads. This isn't what life is about, right? We don't just look back at stuff with hindsight. We decide here and now to fight the good fight, to be dedicated to shining a light on the stuff that doesn't need to be in the dark anymore, to admit our vulnerabilities with our sexualities, to face our shame-filled mentalities, to own up for our lack of knowledge about our sexual anatomies so that we can all learn together. Honour the unsung scientists who get little attention or mention and who are learning new things every day about the orgasm and the brain, about sexual play, about the actual size of the clitoris. It's friggin' massive. When we look back to ancient sexual rites who offer wisdom sound bites about how we used to be sexually free, the Taoists, the Tantrics, the Quidoshka, the Shunga and the people of the Celts, they all knew special techniques to encourage the body to melt, to take us back to our in and out breath, so that the mind just slips away from all the confusing things that it's got to say and our bodies just take over and just know what to do because it's beautiful and magical and sublime. And back then, in that other time, they all knew this. So all we have to do is remember, so that the sex that we have feels good. And if it is life that we choose to create when we mate, it's happy. as it enters and leaves through a woman's sacred gate into this earth's future.